I'm hiding the extent of my dependence of drugs from friends and family. Hey everyone. I'm writing this post because I don't know what else to do that would not involve blowing up my whole life. Background: I live in an East Coast well-to-do city and work in a fast-paced industry. I am married and in my mid-30s with a preteen daughter. For the last 6 years, I have been highly miserable, stressed, and unhappy. Instead of dealing with my issues like an average person, I started smoking a lot of cannabis to relieve my anxiety. I have been smoking since the age of 15, so cannabis didn't make me feel like I was partaking in anything severe or harmful. What first began as a joint once every few days quickly turned into 5-6 joints a day. Every day minus the traveling. And even then, depending on where I went, I would smoke. Fast forward to 2022. I switched careers, and a successful friend pressured me into traveling to Colombia. I got the go-ahead and made the trip. It was mostly uneventful, except it was the first time I tried cocaine. I'm not a massive fan of the experience, but it was memorable. I felt like I walked away with some experience. But ultimately, it was not for me. Or so I thought. I spent 8 months not touching cocaine. And then a family issue triggered me. One night out, I asked another friend, "Don't worry. They test for some cocaine," because I didn't want to sleep or go home. Fast forward again. I began buying a gram here and there from the connections I made. And the weird thing about it is that it makes me feel calm, not hyper, which has the opposite effect on most people. I worry that I will begin or have begun using regularly because I noticed a considerable increase in my job performance since my brain can focus on tasks when under cocaine. I feel ashamed because I don't think this is an healthy way to manage whatever is causing my brain to behave this way. One set of friends enjoys drugs, and the other set of friends and family are incredibly anti-drug and would not be supportive. I have not been running around or doing anything stereotypical that one might be getting into, no late-night escapades or binges or anything like that. It's just me secretly blowing through a gram during daylight hours too within 24 hours of purchase. Then, I beat myself up for about a week and do it again. This has been my reality for the last 60 days or so. My wife would not handle this news well and it would hurt her a lot. So I also feel like a piece of shit. Go talk to a doctor about ADHD. This is textbook ADHD. You feel calm on cocaine because you have a dopamine disorder, and cocaine mimics some of the effects of ADHD medication. You should also check out Running from Ritalin by Malcolm Gladwell. It's an article he wrote for The New Yorker in the 90s. It explains this better than I can. When I got diagnosed, I was an all-day everyday type of stoner because weed slowed everything down to a point that I could handle it. My doctor called it self-medicating, and getting on meds greatly reduced the urge to use. The meds work and they changed my life. I hope you consider them. You need to think about the fentanyl that is in everything. Imagine your wife and kids' reaction to you admitting you have a problem and need to seek rehab. Then consider their reaction to you passing away from an OD along with finding out you've been lying and hiding it this whole time. It might be hard to tell them, but if something happens and they find out, it will be hard for them to ever trust you again. They'll always suspect. If you snitch on yourself and get help, it'll be way better on you and them. Before I was diagnosed with ADHD at 44, I'd spent so much of my life self-medicating with speed or cocaine. It's not the way to live. After years of trying to get diagnosed as a female, I'm now medicated when there isn't a nationwide shortage and have not touched any uppers and truly have no more desire to go get checked for ADHD. Good luck. Textbook ADHD. It may not be a huge problem over the last 60 days other than you feeling bad about lying. But addiction is not stagnant. It gets worse and worse until you lose everything. Beat it now, while you're still able to. It's okay to be transparent if it helps keep you accountable. Give your wife and family some credit. They love you. It's not about making you feel worse. It's about you getting help so you can be at full capacity over a lifetime. Get help now before it's too late. Addiction is not a beast you want to play games with. I tried to post a similar story, but it got deleted immediately. I really understand how you are feeling. My family thinks I am fully abstaining from alcohol and drugs while I am actually inactive. Crippling addiction. 90% of what I am telling my family members about what I am doing is a lie. Since drugs have such an influence on how my day-to-day life is going that there is barely anything happening that I can share without coming out about my use. Remember to be kind to yourself, op. Hey, I was addicted to meth for 15 years on and off. Quit. 4 years later found out I had ADHD. The meth just made me feel legit normal. Anyway, when you're ready, you will tell your loved ones yourself. Nah has saved my life. I hope you get that opportunity. The thing about drugs is we can OD. Or we don't ask for help until we're literally desperate and our world is destroyed. I hope you get out before it gets too bad for you. You aren't a puss. Life is hard sometimes. Please get some help. So with any addiction issues, talking to a therapist is key. But like other people are saying, if coke helps you chill and focus, you probably have ADHD. Sounds to me like you might have something else medical going on rather than just stress. If cocaine actually slows you down, it could be you have ADHD. Which is also the reason why the cannabis works so well for you and you became addicted. I would seek professional help in getting a diagnosis. Once that's happened, then you can approach your family and explain the situation. Get tested for ADHD and go on Adderall. One thing about coke, like all hard drug, is that it changes your brain chemistry forever. If you continue to use it habitually and then get sober, you will feel low and tired all the time. Definitely ADHD. Sounds to me like you're treating ADHD/ADD with the wrong medication, or ADD one or the other. I recommend seeing a doctor. Possibly getting on something for this, because it may not be ruining your life now. But it will, I promise. Yup. Diagnosed ADHD here, and any stimulant calms me down. Only found out my ADHD was the cause of that when mentioning how caffeine and vaping make me sleepy to another diagnosed friend who gave me the rundown. Stick with the cannabis and get off the blow. It's fucking horrible for you and will blow out your sinews and eventually lead to heart failure and/or stroke and possible psychosis if you do enough. Just say nay. I know. Also, if you get hooked enough, you will do nasty things to get more. Don't be that guy. You need to figure out what is causing you the stress and work on that. If that means taking a lower paying job and moving to away, so be it. You are not going to conquer your problem until you conquer the cause. Do whatever it takes before you lose yourself and your family. Good luck. Quit the drugs. Or quit your family. No need to destroy their life when your habit continues to spiral out of control. Get an Adderall prescription. Now, I'm not a doctor, but it sounds like ADHD. Adderall literally changed my life. I don't ever feel wired from it. In fact, it sometimes even makes me sleepy. I have done so much good with my life since I got my ADHD symptoms under control. Honesty is the first step, and you've seemed to identify your shame and guilt very quickly. Best advice coming from someone who's battled with addiction most my life. Change your behavior ASAP. The longer you're off the wagon, the harder it is to get back wagon. It's simple but not easy. If ya catch my drift, good luck.